Hell yes. You get the rest of the passengers of this cargo unloaded quickly. Get this passenger bastard on board. No mob of oddities is about to give us any trouble. He patted the thing he wore in his belt, a metal object like a deformed penis, and looked patriotically at the unarmed woman. She gave the phallic object, which she knew was a weapon, a cold glance. Ship will be loaded by 14 hours, she said. Keep crew on board safe. Lift off at 1440. If you need help, leave message on tape at ground control. She strode off before the captain could one-up her. Anger made her more forceful with the crew and the crowd. Clear the road there, she ordered as she neared the wall. Trucks are coming through. Somebody's going to get hurt. Clear aside. The men and the women in the crowd argued with her and with one another. They kept crossing the road, and someone came inside the wall. They did more or less clear the way. If the four men had no experience in mobbing a boss, or in bossing a mob, they had no experience in being one. Members of the community, not elements of a collective. They were not moved by mass feeling. There were as many emotions there as there were people, but they did not expect commands to be arbitrary, so they had no practice in disobeying them. Their inexperience saved the passenger's life. Some of them had come there to kill a traitor. Others had come to prevent him from leaving, or to yell insults at him, or just to look at him. And all these others obstructed the sheer, brief path of his assassins. None of them had firearms, though a couple had knives. Assault to them meant bodily assault. They wanted to take the traitor into their own hands. They expected him to come guarded in a vehicle. While they were trying to inspect a goods truck and argue with its outrageous driver, the man they wanted came walking down the road alone. When they recognized him, he was already halfway across the field, with 5 defensive syndics following him. Those who had wanted to kill him resorted to pursuit, too late, and to rock throwing, not quite too late. They barely winged the man they wanted, just as he got to the ship. But a 2-pound flint caught one of the defense crew on the side of the head and killed him on the spot. Hatches of the ship closed. The defense crew turned back, carrying their dead companion. They made no effort to stop the leaders of the crowd who came racing toward the ship. Through the foreman, white with shock and rage, cursed them to hell as they ran past, and they swerved to avoid her. Once at the ship, the vanguard of the crowd scattered and stood resolute. The silence of the ship, the abrupt movements of the huge skeleton gallantries, the strange burned look of the ground, the absence of anything in human scale disordered them. A blast of steam or gas from something connected with the ship made some of them start. They looked up uneasily at the rockets. Vast black tunnels overhead, a siren warping and warning far across the field. First one person, then another started back towards the gate. Nobody stopped them. Within 10 minutes the field was clear. The crowd scattered out along the road to Albany. Nothing appeared to have happened, after all. Inside the Mindful, a great deal was happening. Since ground control had pushed launch time up, all routines had to be rushed through in double time. The captain had ordered the passengers to be strapped down and locked in the crew lounge, along with the doctor, to get them out from underfoot. There was a screen in there. They could watch the liftoff as they liked. The passengers watched. He saw the field. The passenger watched. He saw the field and the wall around the field, and far outside the wall, the distant slopes of Nitatas, speckled with scrub holum and sparse silvery moonthorn. All this suddenly rushed dazingly down the screen. The passengers felt his head press it back against the padded rest. It was like a dentist examination. The head pressed back, the jaws forced open. He could not get his breath. He felt sick. He felt his bowels loosen with fear. His whole body cried out for the enormous force that had taken hold of him. Not now, not yet, wait! His eyes saved him. They insisted on seeing and reported to him, took him out of the altruistic terror. For the screen now was a strange sight, a great pallid plain of stone. It was the desert seen from the mountains above the Grand Valley. How he had gotten back to Grand Valley. He tried to tell himself that he was in an airship. No, in a spaceship. The edge of the plain flashed with the brightness of light on water, light across the distant sea. There was no water in those deserts. What he was seeing then, the stone plain was no longer plain but hollow, like a huge bowl full of sunlight. As he watched in wonder, it grew shallower, spilling out of its light. All at once the line broke across it, abstract, geometric, the perfect section of a circle. Beyond that arc was blackness. This blackness reversed the whole picture and made it negative. The stone part of it was no longer concave and full of light, but convex, reflecting, rejecting light. It was not a plane or a bowl, but a sphere, a ball of white stone falling down in blackness, falling away. It was his world. I don't understand, he said aloud.